now President Trump, dominated the coverage, and probably, you know, it was always a question for me of how random and opportunistic this is, as opposed to how intuitive and skillfully planned it is. The tweeting thing, and I'm not on Twitter and I don't really appreciate it very much, certainly drove some of the early stuff, but what also drove it was his recognition of performance. And I toyed for a time with trying to write an op-ed piece, but everything caught up so fast, and it would have been called the performative presidency, or performing the presidency, because I think that's what was going on. And whether it was because of the experience on The Apprentice, or whether or not this is a performative style that has stood him in good stead throughout his career in many other contexts, it was clearly there. The rallies, etc. Now, that said, he tapped into a reservoir of anger that people, even my progressive friends and me and so on, were not aware of, I think. Once I saw it, I understood it, because those are the people I come from. And you know, if you don't have a job, or if you haven't made any money, or if you've not gotten a raise, and all of these things are out there, and they're very powerful in people's lives. I mean, he tapped into people's lives, whether he knew it was there or whether he discovered it. It was there. And then the other side, the other feature, there are many sides to this thing, and what caught me off guard was the coarseness of his performance in the debates and on the rally stages, and that people responded to that so viscerally. So that again indicates how deep-seated some of the opposition and the anger and the frustration and the pessimism was. And as he began to see that and began to use it more and more, I think he developed the performance more and more. Now, what do you do about that if you're a journalist? What do you do? How do you portray this? How do you cover it? What do you show? Who do you interview? And all of it circled around that performance. Hillary Clinton did not perform in that way, chose, and probably could not, I think, in terms of personal capability or strategy, and chose to try to distance herself by becoming calmer and more rational and clearer and on the issues, to stay on the issues. And the coverage was there again, trying to cover her, and clearly in some cases supportive, and it didn't work. I think a lot of this is because we don't have a central cultural storytelling medium. That people who supported Mr. Trump at that time never saw any of the criticism. They just literally didn't see it because they only watch what they watch. We watched that. We didn't see enough of what the Democratic campaign was doing and doing wrong, or not doing enough of. So I think the election this year is probably the culmination in some ways, or the current culmination of a lack of common core, well, I shouldn't say that because that has that specific reference. The lack of a commonality, the lack of a sense that we can cross lines at times that we could work toward consensus, because clearly we didn't, and we still haven't. At this date, with new orders literally today coming out on immigration rules, it's very frustrating on the one hand, and scary. It's frightening. It's frightening for large numbers of people, and it's frightening for those of us who would like to support those people and find ways. As into television journalism, you know, I watch MSNBC and CNN. I don't watch Fox News. I should know what they're saying. I really should. And people I know never watch those other two networks to see what's going on. They don't watch PBS NewsHour, which might be the only place where you could get out of the bubble a little bit. But even there, you've got your two perspectives and so on. It's a troubling time